all businesses having to do with gambling. We have no interests or investment in anything illegitimate.
When they asked Francis Ford Coppola to make The Godfather Part 3, it was an offer he couldn't refuse, and we'll review it on this edition of Siskel and Ebert. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. Our first film is The Godfather Part 3, and in a nutshell, this picture is not in the same league as the first two films in the series, but how many other movies are. There are problems with this new film, but it still has impressive strengths, returning to the story of Michael Corleone, now trying to achieve some respectability in his late middle age. The film opens with him receiving an honor from the Vatican after making a $100 million contribution. That's the sort of thing the Corleones do. His estranged former wife, Kay, played by Diane Keaton, is onto his game. They have a most exciting relationship in this film. She knows Michael better than anyone, and they still love each other.
I came here to protect my son. I didn't come here to see you disguised by your church. I think that was a shameful ceremony.
I spent my life protecting my son. I spent my life protecting my family.
They're exciting together. Later at the same party, Michael's peaceful, respectable life is torn apart by his nephew, Vincent, the illegitimate son of the late Sonny Corleone. Remember him, played by James Caan. Vincent, played by Andy Garcia, gets into a fight with mob boss Joey Zaza, played by Joe Mantegna.
So, what's the trouble between you and Mr. Joe Zaza?
Just trouble. I'll take care of it.
It's foolish of you.
Foolish of me? Things a little foolish to this guy, don't you think? Right? Right!
Temper like his father.
Vincent turns out to be a key character in the movie, taking over the role of muscle man for the Corleone family when battle is joined with Joey Zaza.
Zaza!
Michael, in the hospital recovering now from a diabetes attack, tells Vincent to cool it with his hitman mentality.
I command this family, right or wrong. It was not what I wanted!
In A Tale of Forbidden Love, Vincent ends up becoming romantically involved with Michael's daughter, Mary, his first cousin, played by director Coppola's real daughter, Sophia. The other story point in the film is Michael's involvement with the Vatican Bank, which has just suffered a big loss.
This deal with the Nobiliari can make you one of the richest men in the world. Your whole past history and the history of your family will be washed away.
Well, the intrigue in Rome is a little melodramatic, to say the least, but so is the spirit, of course, of this entire saga. A bigger problem is the casting of Sofia Coppola, who is out of her acting league here. She's supposed to be Andy Garcia's love interest, but no sparks fly. He's more like her babysitter. And the very last scene of the film with some bad makeup on Al Pacino is an embarrassment. But on the positive side, there is so much to treasure here. Big themes of family and destiny, the rare pleasure of picking up characters' lives, the punishment of Michael Corleone seeming utterly appropriate for a violent family man, and that great unfinished love story between Michael and Kay. I've already seen the film twice, enjoyed it more the second time. I'm sure I'll go back again, flaws and all.
It is flawed, it is good. One of the things that bother me is that the screenplay seems kind of half-baked or half-finished. There's one sequence right at the beginning of the film, for example, where they're talking to each other, and it doesn't seem as if what's being said really relates to what they've just been told. It's almost as if the dialogue is put in arbitrarily without really flowing out of the characters and the situation. But on the whole, I agree with you. It's a beautiful looking film. Yes. It's a beautiful feeling film. It's great to see these people again. It's interesting the way they dig into the controversy involving the Catholic Church. They get daringly close to real-life events there, and I'm glad I saw it.
What did you think of, did you respond the way I did to the Michael and Kay story? I love that story, and I think that Keaton's character is so strong. They could have made her weak. I'm very impressed.
She stands up to him.
Yes.
She says, you're a killer, you're a gangster. He stands there, he takes it, he knows it's true because this was a woman who he loved and respected before he took over his father's business.
The key to the whole pictures, the key to him is when he says to her in the first Godfather family, that's my family, Kay, it's not me. And of course, the whole scope of this story is that it is him.
It is him. It is his family. Now, I want to discuss with you one of the central questions about Godfather 3, which you brought up, and that is, did Francis Ford Coppola make a mistake by casting his own daughter, Sophia, in the important role of Michael Corleone's daughter, Mary? And I disagree with you. I don't think so. There's no way to predict what kind of performance he might have obtained from Winona Ryder, the experienced and talented young actress who was originally set to play this role. But I think Sofia Coppola brings a quality of her own to Mary Corleone, a certain upfront vulnerability and simplicity that I think are appropriate and right for the role.
It's over, Mary. There are things I have to do you can't be a part of. Don't be your father. It's not your father's decision, it's mine.
Some critics have suggested that Sofia Coppola lacks the extraordinary beauty and irresistible sex appeal necessary for this role, but actually, that's not what Mary Corleone is like at all. She is an average and an exceptional child in a family that she clearly only has a dim understanding of.
You gotta understand, Mary. You gotta understand.
I'll always love you.
She's heard rumors about her father, but she remains in the dark and naive, and I think she falls for Vincent, Michael's nephew, mostly because he's the first guy who's ever really taken her seriously. She's in love with him, but I don't know if he's in love with her. He's such a calculating guy, he might have gone after any woman who was Michael's daughter. My opinion on the Sophia question is that she is not incorrectly cast, and that she adds something to the movie through the very freshness for unstudied and direct performance.
I know what you're saying about her being sort of natural and not the polished bombshell, and that would have been wrong. There is one, a photographer in the picture who takes care of that role.
Oh, shit!
But at the same time, I don't think it's explained why he really comes on to her, unless this guy is the most venal, craven guy. But look who he's playing around with. He's playing around with the Godfather's daughter.
I think there's at least room for a discussion as to whether or not because so many people have said that that's the biggest mistake in the movie.
No, the biggest mistake is the makeup at the end, wouldn't you? That's a glaring, awful mistake.
It actually didn't bother me that much. Right. Later in the show, a review of Tom Hanks in the film version of Tom Wolfe's great book, The Bonfire of the Vanities.